does if you want to strap a Paramotor on one, I'll just have a go with it.
It's got to be done, hasn't
That
it?
don't sound dangerous at all, does it?
What could possibly go wrong?
Got me, or is that wind dropping?
While we're waiting for the winds to die down, why not go to the pub on a boat? Go for a pint, have a packet of crisps, and then come back and go flying. This is a PMC 2021 autumn fly-in.
Push away.
Hey, selfie mode. This video.
So the pub was a bit further than I thought. It's probably, it felt like about 20 miles away, but it's probably more like 3. Anyway, we got there, took us about an hour and a half to get there, have a pint and a chat, and then we rode back. And now we're back at the field. So actually I forgot to turn my GoPro on for this first Friday evening flight. It was a really great flight. So I got above the clouds and broke my altitude record. So managed to get up to 6,300 feet, I think it was. So pretty cold, 8 degrees by the looks of that. And but a really, really great flight. Shame I forgot to take the GoPro. I've never been to the PMC before. They have a 24-hour fire pit going. So that's really great to go and have a chat with people, talk paramotor stuff. SOC report. It's nil wind, misty. However, blue above, so hopefully we'll lift. So beautiful but challenging conditions on Saturday morning. Started very, very misty as you saw, and slowly lifted, but the grass was very wet and there was pretty much nil wind. Also, the very, very light wind we had was coming from the opposite end of the field, so it was meant to trek all the way down the other side. And then laying your wing out, getting your wing all wet and going for a launch. So here I am setting up. When launching a paramotor wing, you need to have full commitment and good power, especially on a nil wind, wet grass day, which is what we have here. I didn't give it 100%, it's probably like 95% commitment. So the wing therefore didn't have enough airflow to keep it up, so it fell down. So getting nice hot and sweaty now and getting reset up, and I'm going to have another go. And this time I'm going to give it full welly. A day like this with wet grass and nil wind, it's such a relief to get airborne, so feeling great now. So there's a campsite below us. Stayed there Friday night and Saturday night, went home Sunday lunchtime. Had so much flying, it was unbelievable. The weather was just amazing. So got a flight Friday night, got 3 flights on Saturday, and got a flight on the Sunday as well, Sunday morning. They're all long flights as well, so probably did 5-ish hours flying in total. So yeah, really enjoyed it. So I'm flying north towards Croome Court, which is a National Trust property. Construction started in 1754, opened in 1760, and was designed by Capability Brown in a Neo-Palladian style, apparently, according to Wikipedia. So we've got a southerly wind today. I just wanted to pop up and see Croome Court. I don't want to fly with a tailwind on the outbound leg for too long because I might get stuck. So I've decided to turn round and I'm going to head towards Gloucester and then fly down the river. This is the River Avon, and just try and see Gloucester Cathedral. And this here is the pub that we rode to yesterday in the boat. It's called the Fleet Inn. Now flying over Tewkesbury. I never actually got a chance to go there. Didn't go out in my car for the whole event. And just at the top there is Tewkesbury Abbey, which is built in the 12th century, a former Benedictine monastery, and is considered one of the finest examples of Norman architecture in Britain. So now flying down the River Severn. Tewkesbury has the River Severn and the River Avon. They kind of converge. and flying now down towards Gloucester. Got to say, we were really blessed with the weather. It was so warm, with the mist around as well, and the low cloud base meant we could get above the clouds. So we were really, really lucky with the weather. It's just absolutely fantastic. So now approaching Gloucester, which is a cathedral city at the mouth of the River Severn. And it has a spectacular cathedral. Gloucester Cathedral was originated in the year 678 and was rebuilt in 1072 to 1104. Again, I didn't get a chance to visit, but had a good nosy as I was flying over. If you check the links in the description, I took some better photos than the video footage. So if you want to see Gloucester Cathedral from the air, have a look at the photo album. So even though the winds are light, I decided to turn back along the south side of Gloucester City and then fly back up towards the airfield campsite. Because we've got, I've been up about an hour and a half at this point, and I just want to make sure I can get back. So at this stage I did start getting a little bit of fuel anxiety. There's the pub that we went to, the Fleet Inn, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it back, but luckily I landed with 1 or 2 litres. There's the field above. So it's 11 AM now on the Saturday morning. It's starting to get a bit bumpy. The thermals are starting to develop, and with a strong sun coming out. So I thought I'd come in, have some food, chill out in the sun for a while, and then go for a flight in a few hours' time. So I'm now refueled, had some food, been sunbathing, been chilling out. That's me taking off there. So 4 of us take off the little Granston lot, and we all go towards the Malvern Hills. So I take off first, followed by Lee on the Hadron 3 wing. Very nice launch. It's quite a tricky wing to launch. And then Gary's up next. Gary always has an interesting launch. Best way I can put it. So here we go, check this out. Come on, Gary. Here he goes, rocking side to side. Must be quite tricky launching that twitchy wing on a trike. But pulls it off, and we're all away. So we're off to the Malvern Hills. So here's Gary's takeoff from my perspective. So we're on our way to the Malvern Hills. Again, the weather is just amazing. So it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's not that bumpy, even though it's been quite warm. It's been about 23, 24 degrees C. So yeah, really blessed with the weather. So really enjoying it. With the sun coming through the clouds there as well. It's just some really great views. So on our way to the Malverns, Ed and I decide to just foot drag this field and just drop down low and have a bit of fun on the way, as there's no one around. Why not? So we do have a little bit of a scary moment in a minute. We go across the M5, we get some altitude up to about 1,500 feet, something like that. And a plane is coming towards us at our same altitude, and it looks like the pilot is not looking out the window because he's not changing his course, but then he does see us at the last minute, and he does a kind of a dive downwards. So I think it's coming up here. If you just look towards the horizon, you should see a plane coming out. I do mark it with some text now, so it's quite scary, but here we are. Here's the guy. So at this point he's seen us and he's dropping down. The GoPro doesn't really capture the image that well, but it felt really, really close at the time. So at this point the guys turn right and head up the Malverns, but I spot a castle. I don't know what it is, and I've since found out it's called Eastner Castle. I just wanted to have a quick look at that, and then I rejoin. And as I'm rejoining, I see this obelisk as well, so some plenty of interesting stuff to see around here. So this here is called the British Camp, which is an Iron Age fort which was built in the 2nd century BC. So I've been up for about an hour at this point, so decided to fly back. I didn't take a full tank of fuel, so I've only got about an hour and a half's worth, so decide to come back to the airfield, have some more refreshments, have a cup of tea, and then go for an evening flight. So I'm not very impressed with GoPro lately. I've got a Hero 7 Black. It's been freezing up, I don't know why. I've got external power and I've got the best SD card, so it's just playing up. So it's Sunday morning. It was raining when I woke up at 7 AM. The rain cleared, and all I can say is one word really: carnage.
No one else wants to go.
Oh, exactly. Like, all these people are literally right away.
No taking off allowed.
So it did look like a lot of fun. I do question the safety of it a little bit. Anyway, no one got hurt, so that's all good. Didn't get any footage for the flight on Saturday evening, again having GoPro issues. So here we are on Sunday morning, kind of mid-morning now, probably 11 AM-ish, something like that. And we're going up to Worcester. So again, we've got very, very light winds, almost nil wind. It's switching around quite a lot as well, so quite a few people are struggling to get launched, so I'm having to give it full commitment, giving it full power, and make it up on the first go. So that was nice to do. So I noticed on this flight that the clouds are quite low. The cloud base is probably around 2,500 feet. So I thought, why not just go straight up? And I looked over towards the Malverns, so even though I wanted to fly up to Worcester, I thought I'd go over to the Malverns first and then do a right turn at the Malverns and head north to Worcester and then come back to the airfield. So that's what I'm doing here. So no one else is following me, I don't think, although when I get past these clouds, I can see Lee below me. It's quite funny. So this is really great, and this is one of my favourite things to do, is to get above the clouds, and you know, on this beautiful day with all this scenery around as well, it's pretty special. Well, I'd love to stay above the clouds longer. I am getting quite cold. I've only got a t-shirt on underneath my flying suit. I do have gloves on, but it's quite chilly up here if you stay up here for too long. So I decided to come down to the Malverns and just fly along there one last time over Great Malvern. And as I'm descending down, behind me I see Lee. So I say hello to Lee and then fly up towards Worcester. So Lee turns away, he's not coming up with me to Worcester, so I just head on alone. And it's really quite bumpy here, actually. Hasn't been that bumpy so far. And then just outside Worcester, I see this helicopter just slightly below my altitude. So I immediately put the full power on to climb up. A helicopter, I don't know if you know, but there's a post on the Facebook group, the Paramotor group, that the helicopter wash can remain in the air up to 5 minutes and can collapse your wings. So I'm gaining altitude at this point to get above that wash because the rotor from the helicopter blades comes downwards. So I decide to climb above so that my wing's not affected. So all good. So now approaching RAF Defford, which was started to be built at the outbreak of the Second World War and completed in 1941. And was used as a satellite station by Vickers Wellington bombers of the number 23 Operational Training Unit. So coming in to land now, my final flight of the weekend. Absolutely brilliant weekend, so thanks to all the organisers, to Simon Westmore and co. Really enjoyed it. Had such a great time, really great people. And if you're considering going to one in the future, even if you can't fly, if you're thinking of flying, it's definitely worth going, chatting to people. It was such a good time, really good. This one took quite some time to put together, so if you enjoyed it, don't forget to click the like button. Helps other people find the channel. And I've got some links to photo albums in the description, so a couple of flights I didn't make.
Oh yeah.
There's one particular one on Friday evening that's got some great photos above the clouds. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.